Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the show. It is the Riverdale after show here on AfterBuzz TV. We are very excited to talk to you guys. What the heck is going on with the Sisters of Quiet Mercy? Where did the Fizzle Rocks come from, and why? Oh, why does everything seem to be connected to the same several villains in the Riverdale universe? We're going to break it all down for you guys. We'll see you in just one quick second.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Holy moly! We're back! This is crazy! We've been gone for several weeks.
That's true.
And you know, Frank, this is a big deal. I'm back here with you right now to talk Riverdale on AfterBuzz TV. I've missed you.
I've missed you more.
I don't believe that.
That's true.
You
That's
can't
true.
know that.
I know. I play very little, have very little real estate in your thoughts.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
Mine, I have a mansion dedicated to Ben Bateman upstairs.
Yeah, that's very sweet.
There you go.
Guys, we're breaking down Riverdale season 3, right?
That is true.
It is the third season.
Absolutely, yep.
The episode is titled Manhunter. Now, I didn't actually find a lot of correlation in this episode between, say, the film Manhunter and this episode. I wasn't sure if it was supposed to be.
You didn't see William Peterson in there.
No, there was no Peterson. I didn't get any of
Brian Cox.
Brian Cox. There you go. And the woman, is it Joan Allen or is it someone else?
That was no. I don't think.
She just kind of looks like her.
Yeah. Well, now I'm stumped.
We're tangenting.
Yes.
But there is a movie called Manhunter. It's actually the original version of Red Dragon, which is like basically the prequel to The Silence of the Lambs. This show is so good at referencing those old media projects, whether they're movies, TV shows, what have you. I assumed we were going to get a lot of Manhunter. I didn't feel a lot of it, so I don't know if that's what it was about. But anyway, guys, we are here to talk to you about Riverdale.
Joan Allen.
It was
correct.
I knew
Nicely done.
And there's a lot that happened in this episode. You know, this one had one of the probably biggest emotional moments of the show for me. I definitely felt. We'll get to that. I definitely think that there's a little bit of a, how is it possible that the characters in this universe are not aware of the fact that these several people are all evil? They just keep being evil over and over again. So, like, stop falling for it.
Yes.
I think there's some of breaking that down in these two episodes that I felt like a little bit beat over the head with. But there's a lot to talk about, and I'm excited to talk about it here. So, guys, we're back. It's AfterBuzz TV. We talk after shows here. It's the online broadcast network dedicated to talking everything after shows on, we're the ESPN of TV talk. That's what they say. So that's what they say. So this is Frank Moran.
Oh, hey, everybody.
Happy good Jackie.
Oh, my gosh. Excited to be back in the saddle again with you, sir.
There's going to be 2 episodes we're doing back-to-back here. They're relatively quick, probably because we missed an episode last week. This panel was very varied. There were people traveling, all kinds of things, and so we had to skip one. But we're here. We're going to kind of do 2 little halfies, but we're going to make sure that we cover everything that we need to talk about.
Distilled down to its very essence of critical thought.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a lot to talk about here. So the first thing I would say is that I think the show has fully embraced the kind of absurdist, like, this is not a regular high school or a regular town at all. Something that coming back to it after a few weeks off, I really kind of noticed, okay, like, they see Joaquin and he's in a chair and his lips are blue and he's dead.
Yes.
Jughead doesn't even react. He, like, looks at him and he's like, Joaquin. I'm like, you're all in high school. He's dead in a chair. Like, somebody murdered him. He's just sitting here and like, oh man, another chess piece in the game of this high school town. We're all 16 and people are just getting murdered and left on my front lawn in chairs. Like that, like I was just like, okay, that's where we're at with this show. Like, it's not even trying anymore to make us feel like this is kind of regular. It's like very much, this is television. It's fun. And I almost think that if you embrace that fully and you don't just try to get into like, this is like, that high school OC show with a little bit of, it's not that. This is not, it's like way, way more insane and intense than that, right?
And, as much as a Joaquin, he kind of betrayed the serpents there at the end for the Gargoyle King. But the fact that Jughead just drapes the tarp back over Joaquin rather than like, maybe we should just, call 911 and say there's a dead body here.
Yeah.
We're not. We're just gonna put the tarp over and move on to other business.
There's not even a funeral. We just Joaquin's just dead. There was a time in this show when Joaquin was like a really significant character. He was a very integral part of the Keven romance. I really liked that part of the show. But yeah, he just becomes a beat for someone else's story at this point, right? So Archie has been broken out There's a whole battle going on to prove his innocence. Veronica's convinced that she's going to be able to, and she's sleuthing around. And so we open up, and Sheriff Mineta, who, I think we got some suspicions about his intentions. He's interviewing the class, and Josie has a seizure. Everyone's having seizures. What's up with that, Frank?
Yeah, it is interesting, and because as far as we know, none of the characters that we're following are taking any of the Fizzle Rocks.
Right.
And certainly Betty was never taking Fizzle Rocks before she had her seizure. So it is interesting, like, how are these seizures being triggered if it's not necessarily Fizzle Rock related?
Yeah, Fizzle Rocks, eh? Pop Rocks, I liked them enough.
Yeah.
The jingle jangle.
Do you like your Fizzle Rocks with a lot of opioids in them?
Right. There's a lot, and there's a lot of talk about who's growing what. This is like a conversation that continues to happen. So Josie has this, this seizure, and Betty at the same time is trying to get to the bottom of it. So she calls this meeting with the parents, because now it's very clear, obviously based on our Breakfast Club episode we got to watch, that the parents have a real awareness of this Gargoyle King stuff and Griffins and Gargoyles and all this. How do you feel at this point in the season? We're like 7 episodes deep now, 6, I think. Is this 6 or is this 7?
This is 6.
How do you feel about this Griffins and Gargoyles storyline? Like, are you into it? Where are you at with it?
You know what? And I think that's just a symptom of having a longer season, is that I am intrigued by the story, but I also feel like it is being doled out in a slower fashion than I particularly would want it to be doled out in. I think I'd rather have it at a more rapid clip.
Yeah, I think something that's particularly interesting about the Griffins and Gargoyles storyline is that when we had that episode a few weeks ago, the Breakfast Club one, and I think I mentioned this on the show then, but basically, like, what's the worst thing that can have happened to a character on this show now to trigger like a piece of drama, a plot point, right? For us to really be shocked. So many characters have died on this show now.
Yeah.
And they've been murdered brutally, right? And like, oh, like this thing that happened in the past that like is the craziest thing is like someone was murdered. Like, it just keeps happening. I feel the stakes actually on the show are hard for me to get behind anymore. Right? Like, if someone dies, and I guess if it's like a main character, it's more meaningful, but I feel kind of desensitized.
There is a part of me, and I don't know if anybody in the chat feels the same way as well, or if you're watching this afterwards, that anytime I see the Gargoyle King appear,
yeah,
I just want somebody just to tackle him.
Right.
And just tackle that king down, because that is a slow-moving dude or slow-moving individual inside that Gargoyle King outfit. Just tackle him.
Right.
And let's just get to the end of this.
I agree, and I hope it's Archie with his shirt off that does it. Josh, can we got Josh up in the booth. How you doing, man?
Pretty good, guys. How are you?
We're crushing it. We're having a great time. Is any chance we could maybe get the live chat up on the screen? I don't have a computer in front of me. We're a little short-handed, so I'd love to have that up there. In the meantime, I do want to make sure that everybody knows AfterBuzz TV, we are here. We produce after shows for basically every show on television. It's like 150 shows, dramas, reality TV. I mean, literally everything. So if you subscribe to the channel, and there's multiple channels, by the way. We have AfterBuzz Dramas. We have AfterBuzz, reality TV, comedy, superhero shows. There's like 7 or 8 different channels. And the deal is, if you subscribe to one of those channels on YouTube, you get notifications about the shows that you should be watching that relate to your level of interest. You can turn the notifications off. You don't have to deal with those if you don't want to deal with those. But if you hit the subscribe button, you will be alerted to shows that you probably are interested in. So that's what we're doing here. Be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments below. Like, subscribe. We share comments, thoughts, iTunes reviews here on the show if you do that. So thanks for being the best fans in the world. And we are going to continue being the ESPN of TV Talk. Thank you guys so much for supporting us.
Ben Bateman, I want to ask you, if you were summoned to a teenage speakeasy by a high schooler who wanted to know about what happened in your teenage years as well, would you be more like Fred Andrews and say, we just got to tell them everything we know? Or are you going to play it more like FP or Hiram, where they're like, hey, leave me alone. I'm not, this is none of your business.
Well, am I in the Riverdale universe or am I me?
Let's put you, Ben Bateman. You right now have been transported to Riverdale universe.
I'd be like, no. If you want to like sit down and talk to me, ask me some questions, be my guest, but I'm not going to sit down with like a group of 12 of you to like relive the past and tell stories. Like, if you have questions, just call me, ask me, sit me down. That's how I'd handle it. I mean, again, it's just, here you go. Without shirtless Archie, there is no Riverdale, says External Shockwave 3. I agree. I totally agree. I mean, there's just this sense that, like, it's this group of, like, 26 characters, and, like, get them all together in a room at one time, ask a question, it's dramatic, like, react. It feels like none of them actually live their lives outside of these scenes sometimes.
No, that's true. I feel like, they do those scenes, and then they're just put in stasis, and then we just open the door and let them back in for another moment.
Yeah, which is funny, because, like, again, I think that there has to be a real division with this show from... This is not like a teen drama where you're supposed to watch it and feel like they want to create those John Hughes moments, but you're not watching those John Hughes moments. Aside from, like, when they give you, like, a scene that makes you feel that way, the stakes in the show are so over the top now. That's just not what you're watching. You're watching, like, kind of a supernatural show. It's like kind of, it's like kind of a supernatural horror noir gothic show. That's like what it is now.
It's true, and we've joked about what season 4 is going to be like. And even though this is not really a supernatural menace like you would see in the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, it's still, there has been so much death, as you've mentioned, that, how can you do a season 4 and have these people feel any genuine human emotions about anything that's happening around them at this point?
Right. So from that scene where you get Betty with all the parents, you have a couple spin-offs. One of them is that Penelope Blossom ends up telling a story about kind of her history, and she's talking about Daryl Doyley, and that he was in love with her back in the day, and that that he professed his love and she rejected him, and it was a big problem. So that's one plot line. You've got her, kind of, like I said, kind of an evil character. She's basically just almost all bad. I would say, like, has Penelope Blossom added anything of value in a positive sense, like where you're like, I should trust this woman, she brings value to my life?
No.
Right? She's always bad.
Yeah, I mean, maybe at least with Betty's dad, maybe they had some genuine moments together, but other than that, no. And that we haven't even got to see those moments. But it did seem, for that little bit of time that they're together, they seem to generally have a genuine fondness for each other.
So then you also have her, Hiram, who's kind of in the same boat. Hiram just at this point is like, how are any of you ever convincing yourselves this guy's anything other than just a straight villain? Because he's just a villain. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts now, right?
Yeah.
It's another guy where it's like, stop trusting Hiram. Stop giving him a chance. That's another one. And then the last bit of this is that FP comes home, he finds Jughead, and they have this interaction where he's just like, you're on drugs. He handcuffs him to the fridge. Don't know if I'd ever handcuff my kid to the fridge, will you?
It was that tough love. I mean, but FP is a serpent. That parenting, if you're a serpent parent, you operate by a different set of rules, and sometimes handcuffs are needed to be able to teach your child a lesson. Yeah. But I know right now I should start working on learning how to pick a pair of handcuffs with a paperclip or a bobby pin. I do not know how to do that.
Spare Me Your Sorrow says she misses Sam. He or she, I'm not sure if Spare Me Your Sorrow is a man or a woman, girl or a boy. I miss Sam too. All the love to Sam. She's out of town right now. She's doing her thing. We miss her. We wish she was here. She'll be back. You also say that I look different. I'm hoping that's a good thing. Feel free to share your thoughts.
I think he's more handsome. He's looking more handsome.
That's nice of you, Frank. Thank you.
Go.
So basically you have this whole conversation here. Now, at the same time, Betty ends up getting taken away. She goes to the Sisters of Quiet Mercy. Now, she gets taken to the Sisters of Quiet Mercy, and you're just like, what's gonna happen? How's Betty gonna get out of this like this mental hospital prison thing, rehab center? What is that thing?
Well, it feels like this. I was really hoping, and I've talked about this many times this season, that we were going to hopefully wrap up the Gargoyle King mid-season and then start the second half of the season dealing with the farm stuff. But it seems now with Edgar suggesting Betty go to the sisters as opposed to the farm.
Yeah.
And seeing how connected the sisters are to the Gargoyle King and everything that's happening, it does feel like this is going to last a lot longer than the mid-season finale, and there is going to be a lot of blurring between the farm and everything else.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. I also thought that, Maginamic, Betty's mom, Alice Cooper. I felt she was really conflicted when she sent Betty away. I thought that was a touching moment. I could really see it in her eyes. It was good acting by her.
Yeah, but it's just like that they sent Polly away, and then Betty helped break her away. You would think Alice would think, oh yeah, I mean, they really didn't help Polly so much as Polly wanted to get away from them as well.
Yeah.
So you back off on that, saying that they helped the Scuba Girls.
Right.
Not necessarily true.
Because they're scared of another attack because the Gargoyle King like kind of attacked their home.
Yeah, and I don't understand why they decided to run upstairs to the bedroom and hide. Why did they think that was a great exit strategy? If you have somebody inside your house that's scaring the bejesus out of you, get out of the house.
Classic horror movie trope.
Yeah,
you go up the stairs.
So you can give Skeet Ulrich a chance to relive his scream moment and climb in through the window.
100%. That's classic, right?
There you go.
Yeah. I just watched Scream, actually, fully for the first time.
Oh, really?
Like the whole movie.
Oh,
I had,
nice.
Scream's like one of those movies that like I grew up and it was playing on cable a lot and I had never seen the whole thing, and then I watched it recently. I watched the whole thing.
10-second tangent. Did it live up, given how much it's influenced films since then? But you seeing it for the first time, does it still hold up for you just as an experience in and of itself?
I had seen most of the movie. It's funny, I've seen Scary Movie more than I've seen Scream, and a lot of Scary Movie feels like it's just actually Scream. Like the things that they make fun of are actually just what the movie is. So I like that. It's a great movie. It's like really, really well done. It's pretty compelling. It's not too long. It's a fun piece of movie history to indulge in.
We see at the end of the episode, though, Archie decides he's the only way, even though Veronica exonerates him with the evidence that she finds on her mom's computer, Archie decides, you know what, Hiram is out to get me no matter what, even though I'm clear, I still got to leave town. Do you agree with Archie's decision? Do you think it was a smart move for him that he's got to just leave town instead of staying and maybe trying to fight?
I get why he thinks he has to. What he was doing wasn't working, right? He knows there's the higher power here, and that higher power is that Hiram has a lot of control. So I think, and by the way, guys, I think we're not going to do predictions because we're about to do the next episode immediately after this, so it doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
But we will do like general show predictions after this episode. But at the end of the next one, it was sad. That's the moment for me. I actually really liked that moment. That he hangs up before he says goodbye, Veronica, because she's like, "Don't you say goodbye? Don't you do it, Ricky Bobby? You don't put the evil on me." I thought that was great. I enjoyed that. I mean, it was sad, but it was. I like the pacing of it, the way it was done. And I think for the sake of the story, I think it's good. Got to get Archie out of there. I think like putting Archie back into Riverdale at this point in the show, at this point in the season, not strong.
Well, the man spent time in prison as well as a fight club. So he's definitely going to be thinking about different things when he comes back. He couldn't look at school the same way again. It's like, I got to worry about this algebra test.
He did time.
I was worried about not getting beat to death in prison.
Totally agree. So, yeah, Veronica sends over this video, and she gets locked up and all that stuff, and then the Ethelhead reveal. I have the Ethelhead reveal written on this episode. Are we sure that wasn't the next episode?
That was the next.
I thought so. Yeah. Okay, I got my sheets of paper mixed up here. Guys, I think that's gonna wrap up our reviews of this first episode, Manhunter, our Riverdale episode 6 in season 3 here. Frank, where can the folks find you if they want to follow along?
Find me on Twitter and Instagram, guys, at Happy Go Jackie. Let's talk Riverdale or thoughts and speculations.
Yeah, let me know as well, guys, if you want to, share your thoughts. I'll be happy to tweet back at you at Ben Bateman Media. That's where you can find me. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. As always, we will be back same time, same place. But actually, this time it's literally immediately afterwards. We'll do all of our full, predictions and gossip and all that stuff next episode. We'll see you guys in just one quick second.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.